Okay, be honest. Are you that person carrying around one of those massive gallon sized water jugs? You're chugging it all day long, taking countless bathroom breaks, and yet you still feel completely wiped out? Well, you are definitely not alone. For decades, we've been sold this idea that staying hydrated just means drinking a literal ton of water and, hoping for the best. But what if I told you that the whole chug until you float strategy is actually a massive myth? Welcome to this explainer where we're going to completely shatter what you thought you knew about hydration and show you what your body is actually begging for. Okay, let's dive into this. There's a fundamental biological truth we really need to let sink in here. Hydration happens when water actually gets into the cell. This is the reality that most standard wellness advice just completely misses. I mean, you could drink gallons of the absolute purest spring water on earth, but if it's just sloshing around in your stomach or pooling outside your cells, it is basically useless to you. Water knocking on the door does literally nothing if nobody is opening the door to let it in. Look, I'll proudly admit that I'm a total hydration nerd, and it honestly drives me crazy seeing people treat their bodies like a simple drain pipe. Just look at the contrast. On one hand, we've got the old myth of volume-based hydration, the whole idea that if you just force enough liquid down your throat, you'll be healthy, but then contrast that with the reality of true cellular absorption. Real hydration is this active, incredibly complex biological process. It's not about the sheer volume of water you consume. It is entirely about what your trillions of cells actually receive and can use. All right, section 1. Your cells are secretly thirsty. So most of us operate under the assumption that if we aren't actively thirsty, we're perfectly hydrated. But biologically speaking, thirst is a lagging indicator. Actually, scratch that. By the time your mouth is dry and you finally feel that urge to drink, your body is already screaming for help. And because we ignore those early warnings, we end up living with this chronic low-level dehydration that just masks itself as everyday life. I mean, think about these hidden signs. How many of us experience fatigue and just think, well, guess I'm just getting older? Or you get brain fog and a headache and assume you just need a fourth cup of coffee. You get a muscle cramp? Must have slept funny. Digestive issues or weird cravings? Blame it on whatever you had for lunch. We are remarkably good at ignoring these blaring alarm bells, completely failing to realize that our body is simply begging for actual cellular level hydration. Moving on to section 2, the 5 cellular pillars. So how do we actually support this built-in design? Well, we have to shift our focus from the problem to the science. There is a genuinely extraordinary design inside every single cell in your body. When water actually gets into the cell, it doesn't just sit there. It gets right to work. Let's move to and see how this builds, because this chronological journey is fascinating. Pillar 1 is cleanse. Think of water as the ultimate biological janitor, flushing out waste and toxins so your cells can function at their peak. Pillar 2 is transport. It's basically the delivery system, carrying oxygen, minerals, and nutrients directly through the cell membrane. Pillar 3 is energize. Well-hydrated cells actually produce way more energy, which supports literally every function in your body. So long, afternoon crash. Pillar 4 is repair. Water actively supports cellular regeneration and your overall immune function. And finally, Pillar 5 is balance. Maintaining those precise electrolyte levels needed for effective cellular communication. It's the whole shebang. Total bodily balance. Which brings us to section 3. Enter Nueva Revive. Now, understanding those 5 pillars is great in theory, but how do we practically pull this off? You can't exactly just wish the water into your cells, right? You need the right biological keys to unlock the cellular doors. And the absolutely crucial takeaway from the source material is this: electrolytes alone are not enough. We've seen this massive boom in electrolyte powders lately that just dump huge amounts of sodium into the body. But Nua Revive is pitched as the next evolution of the stack because it actually aims to complete the hydration ecosystem. According to the source, it's powered not just by electrolytes, but by osmolytes and trace minerals. It's explicitly designed to elevate the entire experience of hydration, bringing the water precisely where it needs to go. Section 4. Ingredients for peak performance. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is if you want peak performance, whether that's crushing it in the gym, dominating in the boardroom, or honestly just keeping up with a toddler, you have to look under the hood at the specific, optimized formula designed to make this cellular magic happen. Let's break down this innovation. It's brilliantly categorized into 3 main functions. First up, electrolyte restoration. Next, powerful antioxidants, which, by the way, most hydration drinks completely ignore. And third, fuel and prebiotics. All of this is engineered for maximum absorption. Oh, and a totally key feature highlighted for those of us serious about our health: zero added sugar. The goal here isn't to drink a sticky syrup. It's formulated as pure cellular fuel. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how these complex biological components translate into real-world results. Let's talk about this so what factor. Himalayan salt and magnesium citrate, they restore those essential trace minerals and are the exact reason you can finally stop getting those awful muscle cramps. Glycine and L-taurine, these act as osmolytes. They're the literal biological keys that help pull and lock water inside the cells to drive your energy. Then you have solar CAC and shilajit extract, offering potent antioxidant protection and mineral efficiency. And finally, coconut water powder paired with acacia fiber gives you rapid natural electrolytes while simultaneously supporting your gut health. So this isn't just some random mix of powders. The source presents this as a highly targeted formula designed to make you feel noticeably more energized and totally clear-headed. Section 5. Who is this actually for? So we have this highly advanced cellular-level hydration matrix. The natural next question is this just for elite Olympic athletes sweating buckets on a track? The short answer? No way. Whether you're an everyday performer like a busy professional or an entrepreneur just trying to banish that afternoon brain fog, or someone with a super active lifestyle needing support around a workout, this is aimed at you. It's for travelers navigating brutal, super dehydrating schedules on airplanes. It's for wellness-minded individuals building a holistic routine. Look, if you have a demanding lifestyle, your cells are burning through resources at a wildly accelerated rate. The truth is, whether you're running a marathon, running a startup, or literally just running through an airport to catch a flight, your cells all play by the exact same biological rules. They all need water actually delivered inside the cell membrane to function. So we've covered the myth of simply chugging water. We've looked at the hidden signs of dehydration, the 5 pillars of cellular health, and the precise science of how to actually get water into your cells where it belongs. I want to leave you with a direct quote from the source material that really struck a chord with me. Your body is sacred ground. Are you tending it that way? It's a pretty profound perspective shift, isn't it? Stop treating hydration like a chore where you just dump water down a pipe. Start treating it as the absolute foundation of your physical baseline. Are you giving your trillions of cells the exact tools they need to thrive? Think about that the very next time you reach for a drink.